Hello everybody, this is AG here, and welcome to the Dover Motor Speedway, here in the first state of Delaware, and we are here for the 25th race of the season, which will be tomorrow at noon Eastern Time, right here from the Monster Mile, the Nemours Children's Health 400, the third race of the chase here in the 2025 Wawa Cup Series, and we are very excited for this race, because I think it's going to be way more competitive than what we saw last week at Road America. No offense to Duncan Ward and what he put on there. He put on quite the show en route to his fourth win of the season, and taking the points lead here in the Wawa Cup Series. Two races into the chase, has a 13-point lead on Daniel Paulus Jr. coming into this one here at Dover. But this here, it's a bit of a wild card racetrack as well, and we've had a lot of these races early on in the chase that kind of seem to just go all over the place, and Dover is another one. 2 years ago, this race was won by a hot seat driver, Sam Adoskim. Last year, this was Kirsten Bell's second career win on the channel. Remember what happened there? Matt Tuck was the dominant driver in that race and then ran out of fuel at the end. I will say behind the scenes, I think we have kind of fixed that issue here at Dover, so we should have a one-stop race, though. That fuel window is going to be right past halfway in tomorrow's event, so that can make things very interesting if we get an early caution. But on the flip side, the tire degradation will not be as high as it used to be. It's going to be about a second, maybe a second and a half fall off, not the 2.5 that we used to see. So things will be a little bit different in the race tomorrow in that regard. We're excited to see how that ends up shaking out. We got Uncharted qualifying here. And of course, Uncharted racing the points is getting closer there. Great run out of Zayden Davidson last week at Road America. Now only sits 32 points behind Darian Arnsdorf in the Uncharted Championship. You also got Carson Miller and Eric Monaco who are trying to get up there, though they are a little ways behind the two leaders in the Uncharted points. And whoever is the highest Uncharted driver in points at the end of the season will get a reserve for a full-time ride in the Wawa Cup Series. But to everyone else who is Uncharted, who has done their ratings, who has met the threshold, there will be something for you guys. I'm not going to say what it is yet, but there will be something that you guys can lock in for next year, assuming that you do at least 10 ratings, and one of those being a chase ratings form, which most of you guys have done already. Of course, top 5 advance on, and then the highest hot seat driver. If a hot seat driver is already in the top 5, then it's the 6th place driver who advances on. Our hot seat drivers for this week are Skep Silver in the number 14. Driving for Ground Autosport once again. We got Stella Arcadia in the 91. They made a start. Forget which race it was that they made. Ended up finishing 23rd in that race in the 91 for Evans Ross Racing. Trey Wright in the number 90 for Appalachian Motorsports. And then we got ourselves the 42. That is Anthony Hernandez driving for Racing Motorsports here in the hot seat at Dover. And wouldn't you look at that, it's Darian Arnsdorf and Zayden Davidson once again up in the top 2 positions here in qualifying. Great runs for those drivers. No surprise to see them run well. And Zayden Davidson just went to the top of the board there in the 00, if I am not mistaken. And it was a while. It's actually been a while since, well, we had the truck race here when Nathan Stapleton won back in November. But outside of that, it was quite a while ago when the Wawa Cup Series was last year. It's been a while since the Cup Series in real life has been here. I've been waiting for a Dover race for 15 months, roughly. It was April of 2024 when we were last year with the Sprint Series and the Cup Series, and I do believe it was Zayden Davidson who ended up getting the race victory in this race in the Sprint Series a year ago, and it looks like he's going to be in the Cup race as well. Stella Arcadia, well, they were in that top 6, but not anymore. Skep Silver has joined the top 6. Stella Arcadia is still in the show. Eric Monaco on the outside looking in. Monaco has had a lot of great runs as of late in that 45, but at the moment it is not looking like he will make it into the show in the 45 machine, which unfortunately will kind of seal his fate in terms of the Uncharted Championship. Allie Anderson Jr. there in 4th, looking to make her first start in quite a while, actually. She's made 9 starts this season. When she has been in these races, she's been really good, but she has struggled in qualifying this season to really get in there. But it looks like she's going to have a good opportunity. She's now up to 3rd here, so putting a little buffer there. Carson Miller also looking to make it in with the number 50 in Appalachian Motorsports. And, of course, Arnsdorf and Davidson have clearly been the two best uncharted drivers throughout the entire season. I think Monaco is actually the third best of that list. He just had a really tough start to the year and has struggled in qualifying. That's going to continue. But Zane Davidson trying to do all he can to get Darian Arnsdorf so he can lock in a full-time ride for the Wawa Cup Series next season and go for the title in the series. I know he's been trying to get in the series for quite some time. And like I said, he's going to be in a full-time ride in something next year. Guaranteed. But, you know, we're going to announce some things here in the coming weeks, and I think we're going to really enjoy what we do next year with the Wawa Cup Series and what might be around it. I'm not going to give away too much. Darian Arnsdorf, Zane Davidson, Hallie Anderson Jr., Carson Miller, Skep Silver, and Stella Arcadia make it into the show here in the Nemours Children's Health 400 from the Dover Motor Speedway. Let's go on the Group A and see who makes it into the Fast Six here from the Monster Mile. And here we go from the Monster Mile. Home race for a couple of guys. LJ Cimento is home race for him. Has not had a good season in that 71, unfortunately, which is a shame, because LJ made the chase a couple of years ago, won the Daytona 500 last year, just has not found any speed this year in that number 71 machine. Also home team for Millennium Motorsports as well, Chase Harris's team right there. And it's my home race, too. Y'all already kind of knew that. Even though I live in Pennsylvania, this is the closest racetrack to me. And it is a fun racetrack to go to. Always a great viewing angle, and sometimes get a good race here. It's a very unique racetrack. That's what I love about it. The Monster Mile and the very intense corner speed for how tight these corners are. Always a lot of fun here. And we always have some fun races in the Cup Series, Wawa Cup Series here. And here we are in July, late summer, 25th race of the season, so playing a big part in the championship, and Duncan Ward leading that championship after his dominating effort at Road America. And the fact that pretty much every other Chase driver just did not have a good run in that race is why he's holding this points lead by 13 points. Still 8 races left to go, of course, until we crown a champion. So a lot of time left, and it's not over yet at all. But Duncan Ward is in a good position right now. And I would say at this point, maybe the favorite to win the championship. Maybe. Of course, Paulus and Charette lurking right back in there. They might have some advantages in certain places like this one, but we'll just have to see if that ends up being the case. Logan Williams trying to rebound. It wasn't an awful run at Road America relative to everybody else, but he's still now 37 points behind, and after that runner-up at Chicagoland, kind of back to the same position he was in, but he is currently fastest right now here in Group A. Of course, top 3 advance on to the Fast 6, and then inside lane determined by the rest of the positions right here. You got Andrew Miller. Miller's qualified very well on a lot of these races, but he hasn't finished very well. Did not have a good run at Road America. The 86 machine, he qualified very well in that race, but just did not have a good run. And he's 11th in the standings. He's 58 points behind already. But still for Andrew, I think this is definitely a step in the right direction going into next year and what he's been able to do. We'll see where he ends up next year. We'll see if he stays with Durrani next year. But we definitely know he's going to be in the series next year. I think he's going to try to go for it, tweak some things. I'll convince him on Sunday and on the ride down. We got ourselves Logan Williams in third now, as it's Tanner Parton. Tanner Parton, of course, had a great run at Pocono, but that's really the highlight of his season as of late. Ladovic Charette, though, up to second. No surprise to see Ladovic have a good run here. This is definitely a racetrack that's going to suit the GRT teams very well, though. Charette, the only GRT car in the Fast 6 right now. Duncan Ward, points leader down in 7th, but you see those Chase drivers really finding themselves in that top 10 right there, which would be top 20 to start the race. Travis Crampton down in 10th right there. That would be a 19th place start for Crampton. He's just not had the speed that he has hoped for going into this part of the season. And now up to 8th, improved a little bit right there, but he's already 45 points off the points lead. You know, at the early part of the season, we thought Travis was going to be a championship favorite. And I would say, you know, if he gets a couple good runs here late in the season he will be, because last year, during the chase, even though he missed the chase, he was one of the strongest guys. He's actually finding some speed now. There's some speed in those NS cars, just like there was a lot of speed in the Triad cars here in the truck race. When Nathan Stapleton won for Travis's team, those guys had a lot of power in their cars, and we came here back in November. Darian Arnsdorf again. What a great run for Arnsdorf, and he has found a lot of speed as well. And we're at a point where these guys, these uncharted guys, especially Arnsdorf and Davidson, they've got enough ratings where they can compete with the rest of these guys, and that's why they're in the positions they're in. But Ludovic Charette, you know she's fast. She just went to the top of the board. And how about the GRT teams going 1, 2, 3 right there, knocking out Logan Williams from the Fast 6. So you got Charette, you got Matthew Hubert in second. What a run for Hubert in the 15. Paulus is in Group B, by the way. And then you got Arnsdorf there in third, looking to get that last spot into the Fast 6. Logan Williams looking to start 7th. Tanner Parton looking to start 9th. Andrew Miller looking to start 11th. Travis Crampton looking to start 13th. Braden Perez, Kirsten Bell there, our defending winner here at Dover, starting in 17th. And then Duncan Ward down in 19th. Not a good start there for the 23 machine. But all 6 of the chase drivers in this session, top 10 or higher in this session respectively, will start at least top 20. So the chase drivers are back up front where they belong, and they're led by our defending champion of Ludovic Charette, who, if they finish the way they would start in this race, Ludovic Charette, of course, would take the points lead back away from Duncan Ward going into our next race at Indianapolis. That's going to be a big one for the Brickyard next weekend. The 2 racetracks I've been to, Dover and Indianapolis, 2 of my favorite racetracks I've been to. And I love Pocono, too. Don't get me wrong. Bristol was a great experience. Bristol was not a good race. Those are the 4 major racetracks I've been to, and all great in their own right. Ludovic Charette, Matthew Hubert, Darian Arnsdorf, they are in the Fast 6. How about GRT coming back here? I know a lot of people don't like to see that, but those guys certainly do, and I know Stuart and Matt and all those guys behind Grattan Racing Technologies are happy about that result right there, because those are the only 3 GRT cars in this session, other than Skep. Skep, of course, a hot seat driver down there in 18th, but the main full-time and full-time guys there all got a good run. Logan Williams will start 7th. Tanner Parton will start 9th. Andrew Miller will start 11th. Travis Crampton will start 13th. Braden Perez will start 15th. Kirsten Bell will start 17th. Duncan Ward will start 19th. That's not good for our points leader after getting that win last week at Road America. Hallie Anderson Jr. will start 21st. Trey Bartow will start 23rd. Bruno Diacomo will start 25th. Drew Webb will start 27th. Leonard Kochmer will start in the 29th position. Alex Amitali will start 31st. Brad Stover will start 32nd, 33rd. Skep Silver will start 35th. Roberto Crown Jr. will start 37th. LJ Cement will start 39th. And Rogel Dorn will start in the 41st position. Let's go on to Group B and see who joins Charette, Hubert, and Arnsdorf in the Fast 6 here from Dover. And here we go for Group B from the Dover Motor Speedway, and we got ourselves the other 6 chase drivers here. Avery Alford, Jack Haas, Isaac Nichols, Paulus in this session as well. And then you also got Laura Chung, and who's the other one? Nathan Smith. Oh boy, Nathan Smith's had such a bad season. I keep forgetting that he's in the chase, and that's kind of a sad thing there. Blew an engine at Chicagoland and had a poor pit stop. Actually ran off at Road America and lost a ton of ground on that one. Currently sitting last in the chase, 79 points behind. But the thing is, Nathan Smith can go out and win this race. Like, legitimately. This is a race that I can see either Smith or Nichols going to victory lane in. Last concrete track that we were on, which was Nashville Super Speedway, that was won, of course, by Isaac Nichols. So, we'll just have to see. And Thomas Troxel for Pacific Racing. Of course, Blaine Key's got the win at Chicagoland. Troxel had a top 10 on there. Of course, a 2-time winner this season. Troxel's just not been it this season. It's kind of strange, the season that he has had. He's 18th in the standings. I don't know, never got a Cancun Cup update after Road America, so I don't know where he sits in the Cancun Cup points right now. I'm going to have to get on that to update that. You know, it's this whole thing, you know, but I want to see who wins it. Now you got me curious. Jack Haas in the 39 machine. 8th in the standings. He's kind of just been there a lot this season, but still kind of hanging on. And this is a racetrack that I can see Jack having a good run at. Though his teammate Kirsten Bell did not have the best of runs in Group A. Lord Chung right there in the number 20 machine. This is actually a race I can see Lord Chung having a good run at, though. Got the win at Bristol, which I know it's a very different racetrack than Dover. But still, for Lord Chung, kind of hanging on there pretty well. 36 points behind, and a race victory would put her closer to Duncan Ward, especially considering that Duncan is not going to start this race from a good position. Blaine Key's now up to third, and of course Blaine's just trying to go for those wins, and I think he's got a good shot at getting a couple more before the season is over. A 30-time winner on the channel now, of course. And Paulus Jr., that's the guy we're watching for. GRT swept the Fast 3, I guess you can say, the top 3 in Group A. And now you got Daniel Paulus Jr. looking to join those guys and go for his first pole of the season. Paulus has yet to win a pole all season long. And the first 2 races, the chase for Paulus have not been the best. And of course, his top 5 streak did break at Road America. Did not get a top 5 in that race. He's 7th right now. Nathan Smith up to the 2nd position in the 06 machine. Great run for Nathan Smith right there. But it's still Troxel who's fastest here in Group B. And then you got Jack Oz there in 3rd, last one in the Fast 6 as of right now. Lord Chung in 4th, Blaine Keys in 5th. And there goes Paulus to the top 3 with Avery Alford as well. And Alford's had a couple of great runs. He actually moved up, I believe, 17 positions at Road America, which is a very impressive feat considering how difficult it is to pass there on that race course. And Alford actually does have a shot at maybe getting a win and having, you know, some chance at this title. I don't think he's going to have enough for Paulus or Charette or his teammate Duncan Ward, but well, there's definitely going to be a chance for Alford as the season rolls along. Get some race victories, and we'll see where he ends up next season. He may end up sticking there with Team Williams. They've found a really good combination there, and they may win the owner's title at this rate, the way it's been going for those guys. Still Troxel fastest, then Avery Alford, and now you got Nathan Smith with that last spot in the Fast 6. Paulus now down to 5th. That's a 10th place start for Paulus, and then Blaine Keys in the 4th position. Jack Oz is 6th. Isaac Nichols is 7th. That would be a 14th place start. Lord Chung is 8th, and Paulus back up into the top 3, and he's going to 2nd place right there with that one. So a lot of speed, and one thing that we will see, and we tend to see a lot in these group sessions at Dover, is that the times get faster as the session goes along, which will make things a little bit interesting in the single car runs, because the single car runs are not necessarily going to be intuitive to who ends up being faster in the long run, which actually is what matters here at Dover. I think we're going to have another clean race tomorrow. We've not had a caution in this series since Gateway about a month ago, over a month ago. Which I like. I like that we just race it out. A lot of it now is just about how fast you are, and you know, focuses on the championship and not all this luck nonsense. Of course, you know, that came into play at Chicagoland. Honestly, we should have had a caution at Chicagoland the way that one went, but we didn't. And of course, Road America road course, no caution there. Same with Montreal. So, but Blaine Keys, top of the board in the 32 machine. This could be another race that Blaine ends up having a good shot at it. Alford just on the outside looking in now, as it's Paulus last one in. Nathan Smith 5th, Jack Haas 6th, Isaac Nichols 7th, and Lord Chung in 8th. That'll do it for Group B. And you're going to see Blaine Keys, Thomas Troxel, and Daniel Paulus Jr. join Ludovic Charette, Matthew Hubert, and Darian Orsdorf. Hey, both the Velocitar cars, both the Pacific cars, and 2 Grattan cars made it in. So it's Pacific, Velocitar, and Grattan. Kind of sweeping that Fast 6 right there. 3 teams in the Fast 6. Avery Alford will start 8th. Nathan Smith will start 10th. Jack Haas will start 12th. Isaac Nichols will start 14th. Lord Chung will start 16th. Carson Miller will start 18th. Nicholas Sambadio will start 20th. Bernardo de Oliveira will start in the 22nd position. Zayden Davison will start 24th. Stella Arcadia will start 26th. Bryce Egan will start 28th. Angel Gutierrez will start 30th. Philip Torres will start 32nd. Christian Master will start 34th. Brian Webb will start 36th. Justin Zeidel will start 38th. Zachary Fitzwater will start 40th. And Jesse Turner will start in the 42nd position. Let's go on to the Fast 6 and get started with Daniel Paulus Jr. here from the Dover Motor Speedway. And here we go. for the Fast Six. And it's GRT versus Pacific Racing. It's going to be fun. And I know it seems a little crazy to say this. I think my money's on Pacific Racing for this. We'll see. We'll see if that ends up being the case. Paulus has not won a pole yet this season. He might get his first one here, get that extra bonus point in his attempts to close in on Duncan Ward in the championship. Regardless of the fact, Paulus is going to have a great starting position and is going to once again look to start a new streak, though. He will not be able to match the top 5 streak this year in the Wawa Cup Series, at least, because we only have ourselves 8 races left to go, and he had 10 straight races of top 5 finishes before failing to finish outside or inside the top 5 last week at Road America. He's going to start us off at 22.765. Move on to our next driver, Darian Arnsdorf there for Grattan Autosport. And up next, it's Darian Arnsdorf in the number 11 for Grattan Autosport. It's kind of been, actually, Arnsdorf's higher than Drew Webb in the points coming into this race. Arnsdorf has had an excellent season. He's been making most of these races, and he has been up front in a lot of these races, and definitely en route to being a full-time ride somewhere. We'll see how it ends up shaking out. And Arnsdorf going to cross the line right there. We'll see what type of lap he gets in comparison to Paulus here. 22.765 is what he has to beat. And of course, Arnsdorf looking to get the pole. We saw Zane Davidson win the pole last week at Road America as an uncharted driver. We'll see Arnsdorf do the same in the 11 machine. Not quite. 8:02. That'll be second quickest. 22.802 there for Darian Arnsdorf and Grattan Autosport. And how about Thomas Troxel in the number 62? You mentioned how odd of a season it's been for him, and it's been odd in some rather unfortunate ways this season for the Pacific Racing team. But the team as a whole has 3 wins, and 2 with Troxel, 1 with Blaine. Both of these guys in the Fast Six, both looking to be up front in this race tomorrow and steal another one from the chase contenders as we move on throughout the chase, which neither drivers are a part of. Paulus, or should I say, Troxel needs to beat a 22.765 to beat Daniel Paulus Jr.'s time. We'll see if he's going to have an opportunity of doing so. I have not been paying attention to the miles per hour, but that ain't going to do it. 996 right there, and Troxel is 3rd overall here at Dover. Matthew Hubert next in line in the number 15 for Team Velocitar. We saw the other Velocitar car, which has gone to victory lane 5 times this season, go 22.765. Have not seen much out of Hubert this season, though, which is a bit ironic considering how good Paulus has been in the 54. But a great opportunity for Hubert to boost his stock up for next season in the Wawa Cup Series. Because I think he's hoping to stick with Velocitar going into 2026. We'll see if that ends up being the case. But regardless, I know there's some teams that would love to have a driver who has had a lot of success. He's not gone to the victory lane yet in the Wawa Cup Series. He came close last year a couple times with Rut Racing. We'll see how this 15 machine can do here at Dover with a good qualifying effort. Across the line, he is going to go 8.28. That is 3rd quickest. Paulus is still fastest here at Dover. And here we go for our 5th driver here in the Fast Six, Blaine Keys in the number 32. Blaine winning 2 weeks ago at Chicagoland Speedway. Let's see if he can carry that momentum from a couple weeks ago here to Dover. Pacific Racing didn't have a fast time with Troxel, but Blaine, I think overall, has had a better season, though he only has 1 win on the year. He has been more consistent, almost made the chase on points, had a couple of unfortunate things happen to him late in the regular season, which took him out of contention. But opened up the chase with a race victory, even though he's not part of the championship chase. I don't quite know if this is going to be fast enough to get to Paulus. Across the line, it is going to be an 8.57, so, yeah. My lesson from today is never bet against GRT. So, yeah. It's going to either be Paulus or Charette winning the pole here from Dover. And last but not least, it's Ludovic Charette in the number 51, our defending champion. Looking for her... What is it? What is it going to be here? 7th pole of the season. Took me a second to see that there. 7th pole of the season. And Paul is looking for his first, which is quite ironic considering that Paul's has 5 wins to Ledovic's 1 on the season. But there's a very good chance though these two drivers could be front row for tomorrow's race here at Dover. We'll just have to see what Ledovic's time is right here. Ooh, I don't know. I don't know about that. I think Paulus might finally get that pole. Cross the line for Ledovic. It's a... No, I was wrong. That's her 7th pole of the season. 7.39 for Ledovic Charette. And once again, another pole position for our defending champion here in the Wawa Cup Series. Well, there you have it. Paulus almost had it. I thought he did have it, but not quite enough. And once again, Ledovic Charette starting on the pole position here in the Wawa Cup Series. Still looking for only her 2nd win of the season, though, and it'll be Ledovic Charette and Daniel Paulus Jr. on the front row. Darian Arnsdorf and Matthew Hubert in row number 2. Blaine Keys, Thomas Troxel in row 3. Then Logan Williams, Avery Alford in row 4, Tanner Parton, Nathan Smith in row 5, Andrew Miller and Jack Haas in row 6. Got ourselves Travis Crampton and Isaac Nichols in row 7, Braden Perez and Laura Chung in row 8, Kirsten Bell and Carson Miller in row 9, Duncan Ward and Nicholas Sambadio in row 10, Hallie Anderson Jr. and Bernardo de Oliveira in row 11, Trey Bartow, Zayden Davis in row 12, Bruno Diacomo, Stella Arcadia in row 13, Drew Webb and Bryce Egan in row 14, Leonard Kochmer and Angel Gutierrez in row 15, Alex Savantali, Philip Torres in row 16, Brad Stover, Christian Master in row 17, Skep Silver, Brian Webb in row 18, Roberto Crown Jr., Justin Zidell in row 19, LJ Semedo, Zachary Fitzwater, row 20, Rogeldorn, Jesse Turner, row 21. It's tomorrow at noon Eastern Time. 25th race of the season here for the Monster Mile in Dover, Delaware. The Nemours Children's Hell 400, and Ledovic Charette will be leading us off to the green flag for the 3rd race of the chase. Thank you guys so much for watching once again. Congratulations to Ledovic Charette, and I will see you guys later.